It's January, apparently, so we're still trying to keep an eye on our calorie intake, which is where Patrick Ryan from the Firehouse Bakery in Dalgany comes in.
Indeed, and we're kicking off things with wholemeal spelt and black treacle bread. You're doing a whole winter warmer thing for us today, 'cause you're going to do stew later on. So is this to have with
exactly?
The stew?
Yeah, no, exactly. So
top stuff.
We're keeping it healthy. We're keeping it hearty.
You lost me in spelt, but got me back for black treacle.
There you go. It's a roller coaster with him. It's just
so up and down.
Out.
Yeah, especially at this time of year, everyone's got the health buzz going. Bread in particular often gets a bad rep, and we want to show you actually how encourage people to bake for themselves. How easy
Tommy
it
was
is.
doing a couple of bad reps earlier. You could see them.
Just something I had.
This is easy peasy Japanese, is it?
It is, and it's also it's quite healthy. It's good. Bread is good. It's full of nutrition. It's full of fiber, vitamins, and we just want to encourage more people to eat better bread.
And it's wholemeal spelt bread, so there's no bad stuff in here.
Yeah, so you'll hear a lot. So basically, we've got 700 grams of wholemeal spelt flour, and then we're adding about a teaspoon of salt.
Sure.
Salt, you really need salt in bread, just a little bit, just to help to enhance the flavour.
Yeah.
You'll hear a lot of people, particularly kind of when they're health driven, they say they can't have bread, can't have wheat, but they can have spelt. Spelt is wheat, but it's a more primitive grain. So it is...
less processed.
It's less processed, but it's much easier for your body to digest.
Right.
So people who often struggle with wheat will often find spelt much easier for them.
This bad boy now, look.
So we're just adding
now.
a little bit of black treacle.
Black treacle.
Love a bit of treacle bread.
Oh.
Hearty.
So a lot of people, I suppose, would know kind of the treacle bread from the lots like your soda breads and stuff like that. This one,
Granny used to make it.
We're actually going to be using some fresh yeast. So we're using 15 grams. But if you can't get dry yeast, fresh yeast, dry yeast, perfectly fine.
The
so
sachets.
The equivalent will be about 7 grams, which is exactly one sachet.
You get those in the baking section of...
You're getting every
And they come in
supermarket.
7-gram packets, don't they?
Or if you have a good baker or an in-store supermarket that actually bakes bread, just go straight to the counter.
7-gram packets, so a little sachet that...
Yeah, it comes in a little double sachet. It's 7 grams each.
In something like this, you just dump in
one sachet,
Yeah, so if you're using about
put it into
15...
water.
If you're using about 15 grams of fresh yeast, it's about 7 grams of dried. So generally ratio about 2:1.
Gotcha. So far, so easy.
So far, so good, yeah.
So that's it. 5 ingredients. So we got salt.
Little implement you have there.
Just a little dough scraper. Just kind of keeps your hands a little bit clean to get it. But we're literally going to turn it straight out.
And this is where the fun begins, because you got to need, and then need, do you?
Yeah. So who needs weights when you've got bread?
Exactly.
Good point.
Who needs
Big muscles in your fingers.
This is what makes bread fat-free.
Very good. It's a workout all in itself.
Exactly. But the great thing about kind of working with spelt, now you will kind of find the dough is a little bit wet, a little bit sticky.
Yeah.
Generally, everyone's reaction at home, immediately reach flour, throw it in. But if you keep adding flour, the dough will happily soak it up.
Right.
And then your dough just gets heavier and heavier.
So don't worry.
No, stick with it. It will come together. So if you want to touch it and feel it, it's very few times in life I'm going to ask you to touch my dough.
Yeah. Very few times I'll say yes.
But you can feel it kind of, it's soft,
nice
it's wet.
and sticky.
So basically this is what we call kneading. You're simply just stretching and working the dough.
What are you looking to? What consistency are you looking to get to?
So basically, it should be nice and smooth. You'll feel it, it's kind of ripping and tearing. But as the dough comes together, you'll find it much smoother, much more elastic. The idea is the gluten only forms once we add a liquid. And at the moment, the gluten's quite weak. So by kneading...
You're activating it.
Exactly, and you're building up the elasticity. You're making your dough stronger.
Yeah. Stretching that gluten and away she goes.
So if you have a mixer at home, KitchenAid, Kenwood, whatever you have, feel free to use it.
The old dough hook.
Dough hook will do exactly the same thing that your hands are doing. I suppose the whole idea of this recipe...
This is now a proper workout at this stage.
It is, but also you're making that look very easy.
But this
I'm trying to do that ends up on my shoes.
This is kind of the therapeutic part of bread making.
Yeah, it's not as easy as it looks.
I'll have a go there, Tom. Honest to God. Have a little go. Can you have a go?
Yeah, please.
What?
See what I mean? Straight away, it looks like something out of Scooby-Doo. You didn't get in trouble.
Thing is, you can't really do it
Push it
wrong.
away from you. That's it, yeah.
So stretch it and work in it.
Just stretch, so it doesn't have, it doesn't have to be as slick as you're making it.
No, realistically,
See, I'm getting bits off.
That's fine. You got your little scraper. You bring it back together again.
Okay.
It's tricky though, isn't it?
You're going to very quickly develop your own technique. So biggest thing is...
I'm going to quit while I'm ahead.
People tend to overthink it.
It was your tea towel there.
So usually when it comes to bread recipe, you're probably looking about 8 to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
But with spelt, the kneading time is less.
Is it really?
So you don't need to work the dough as much.
But you can see that dough changing there, Tommy. Look, remember it was ripping 3 minutes ago? Now it's getting a lot more
You're saying that's
smooth.
the gluten
But that's
Coming to life.
what Patrick is saying. He's stretching that gluten
So
and activating.
again, another great way to make bread at home. I think that's one thing that puts people off is the perceived amount of time it takes.
Yes, yeah.
So if you wish, you can just pop this
Yeah,
to one
but
side.
if you've got a dough hook, though, just throw it into the machine and press
Even
the button.
easier, leave that there. Let that sit for 10 minutes, knead it for 30 seconds, and you repeat that 2 more times, and you'll have it perfectly done. 'Cause
Really?
each time the gluten's relaxing. So ideally what we would do, once our dough has come together sufficiently, we'd pop it into a bowl and let it prove initially for 30 minutes, and then we're going to stretch and fold our dough. Basically, because this dough is a little bit softer, you literally stretch it out, and you fold top over bottom, left over right, and
Fold
then
it back in.
into the bowl.
Pop it back in.
It's all
Again.
about building up the strength in your dough.
Okay.
Then you let it prove for an hour, and this is it.
Look at the size of that. Isn't that
And that's something
beautiful?
that came from.
That's exactly that. That's just the yeast getting to work. It's breaking down the natural sugars. It's producing carbon dioxide, and your dough is beginning to rise.
We only got 30
We
seconds
need to
left.
rattle
Patrick.
on.
So then, literally, all we're going to do. This produces 2 loaves.
Boom.
So you're looking about 600 grams each.
Probably do about 40 of these every morning, do you?
Straight into your tin.
Bakery.
Now, we do have this full recipe and method on the website as well, Patrick. So
And then it's going to prove for another hour, and then it's going to bake.
Leave it in the tin for an hour.
Yeah, and then it's going to bake for 30 minutes, at 230 degrees. Just gonna give you-
Wowzers.
shall I do the honours?
on.
Oh,
You do your own work out there.
oh, it's hot. Have you got a tea towel there?
Yeah, but it's covered in dough.
That's all right, sir. That's all right. Don't worry about it. It's only you I'm going to kill with it. Look at that. Look at
I'll have
that.
the crusty end.
It's the best bit.
Look at that. The
And to be honest-
Spread a bit of butter on that.
texture.
And you can't have homemade
Right.
bread without
Right,
handmade butter. Which comes
Handmade butter,
yeah,
of
from
course.
Abernathy. In County Down. We
Abernathy.
use it in the cafe. It's absolutely cracking.
Right,
Oh, I
so
can smell it. I can smell it.
Smells
Tell you what,
beautiful,
we'll have a taste of this.
Yeah, and I'll
After
put
the
a
break,
bit more
one for
butter on that.
brides to be. Laura will be talking bridal hair and makeup live at the Wedding Journal show. See you soon.